Welcome back to Difebos Market. Today we're doing another baking demonstration. We're going to make some lemon bars today. So we're actually going to start with our crust. This is a great make-ahead dessert, really simple, which you'll find great for the summertime, or today we're kind of doing a nice little sunshine dessert on this rainy day. So right now I've actually got 2 sticks of room temperature butter in my mixer, along with half a cup of sugar. And we're going to start by creaming those together. I've already started that process. You want to make sure it's really nice and light for your crust. And then I've also got 2 cups of flour to 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. It's really important that you have the salt in there when you're baking. It really brings out your flavors. So you're just going to whisk your butter and your sugar, like I said, just until it's really light in color, really fluffy. And once you've got that consistency, you're going to add your flour and your salt mixture pretty slow, just until it forms a nice ball. And just let that continue to mix until it, like I said, just comes to a ball. We're actually going to finish doing the mixing by hand just so we don't overmix. I'll show you this consistency here. So this is kind of what you're looking for, just until it's right about combined.
Yeah, that's important to know.
Yeah, just until it's just combined. Again, you don't want to overmix because that's going to make your crust really tough. All right, so just doing this by hand here. And this will be a little sticky for you, and if it is, just put some flour on your hands when you go to roll this out. And we're actually going to put this, you can either do a 9x13 pan if you want them a little bit thinner, or if you want a thicker lemon bar, you can always do an 8x8, which you'll see I did in a nice glass Pyrex bowl. Again, if you want something a little bit thicker. And so this is the consistency you're looking for. Nice soft dough. Like I said, if it starts to stick to your hands when you press it down in your pan, whichever size you do, just put a little flour. That'll help it from sticking. And then once it's in your baking dish, you're actually going to bake this dough for about 15 to 20 minutes on 350. Again, depending on your oven, you're really going to want to check it. You really only want to bake it till it's about golden brown, and just kind of set, because as it cools, it's going to continue to cook for you. And once it comes out, you're going to have something that looks kind of like this. So again, nice golden brown in color. This one, again, nice thin kind of crust. If you wanted to do a thicker crust, you could always do that as well. Total preference, you can kind of make this however you'd like. So let this cool completely to room temp, which I've already done. And now we're going to actually make the filling, which will make the lemon bar portion. So right now I've got 6 eggs at room temp. I've got a cup of lemon juice. I've got the zest of about 4 to 5 lemons. Depends on how large your lemons are. Mine were a little bit smaller, so I did an extra one. And then I also have a cup of flour. And in my hands I've got 3 cups of sugar. So I'm going to start with my 3 cups of sugar. And you can do this by hand, or if you have a hand mixer, you can always do that, or if you've got a stand mixer with a whisk attachment, you can do that as well. Main thing what you don't want to do is you don't want to add your eggs and your lemon juice. With the acidity in the lemon juice, that's going to start to cook your eggs, and that's what you don't want. So we're actually going to add the eggs in last. So I've got my sugar, I've got my flour, I've got my lemon zest right in there, and then we're going to do that lemon juice. Like I said, keeping those eggs until last. And we're just going to give this a nice whisk. And you can really change this recipe up if you wanted to do, you know, something with you know, oranges, or if you want to do some like a lemon lime bar, you could always do that as well. You can kind of mix up your juices, so it's kind of neat to do different combinations. You would essentially do the same process, just omitting the lemon juice and lemon zest if you wanted, and just switching up that juice there. All right, so I've got that mixture done here, and now I'm going to add my eggs in. Again, this prevents those eggs from cooking from that acidity in the lemon juice. And you're just going to whisk this together until it's really smooth and all combined. And as you can kind of see, this recipe is really easy. It's a nice, if you've never baked before, kind of starter recipe. Again, it's not too difficult, and it's pretty quick as well. And like I said, you can make this the day before, which I prefer because you really want to let these kind of sit kind of overnight, just so they really set up for you. All right, so that's what we've got there. Kind of a nice like lemon curd texture, really nice and silky. And we're actually going to pour that over our crust. And I've actually lined this baking dish with some parchment paper as well. That way, once you go to actually take these out of the pan, they're gonna come out a little bit easier for you versus just spraying. So again, I sprayed this baking pan, and then I put some parchment paper down as well. Trust me, it'll save you in the end. There's no point in making something if you can't get it out of the pan. So. So now that we've got our layers here, we're actually going to bake this again at 350, 30 to 35 minutes. It's going to get a nice golden brown on the top, and the custard should be set, or the lemon curd should be set for you. Again, just check your oven. Everybody's oven's a little bit different, so just make sure it's a little bit still jiggly on top, but it should be all set for you here. I actually got one finished. Still nice and warm from the oven. So this should be your final product. Nice and golden brown on top. You see we got our layers of the crust on the bottom. And these lemon bars are a little bit sweet, a little bit tart, which is kind of how I like them. And then we're just gonna, like I showed you here, just do a little bit of a dusting on top with that powdered sugar. And like I said, you wanna let these sit. I prefer overnight, just so it really, all the flavors kind of seep together, and then you can cut these into squares or cut these into triangles, however you'd like. And again, this one we did the 8x8, so your bars are a little bit thicker, or you can do that 9x13, which is going to give you a little bit of a thinner bar. But again, really easy recipe, especially on a rainy day like today. So I hope you guys join us next week. We're going to be doing another one come Wednesday, again 1 o'clock here at the market. Watch our Facebook page for what we're going to be making, and hope you can join us. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.